Hi guys, it's Jacob from Strangle here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And this is a brand new discursive type topic I have to bring you today, and that's reality media and its stranglehold on music part 1. Part 1 of however many parts it's going to take me to really discuss this topic, so yeah, let's just dive into it. From the title alone, you're probably thinking that this sounds like a very morbid ideology I'm trying to promote here, but it's just metaphoric. I assure you of that. It's not meant to be taken literally. I've been thinking over the last few weeks or so about reality television and how it seems to have spilled into just about every corner of our day-to-day lives in this 21st century that we are currently living in. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just bore you with how I think reality television is garbage and all that generic controversy around that, because I am more than guilty when it comes to watching and partaking in the sort of reality-based craze. Of course I am. But nowadays, reality television and its methods have just spilt into every single aspect and cornerstone of all our bigger industries as well. You have major news networks. Of course, this is a big topic on YouTube at the moment, covering serious topics as if they were just gossip columns. You have celebrities and their families getting ripped apart for their clothing stances and all that sort of stuff. And for the last 2 decades or so, it has very much spilt into our music world as well. I was thinking about all the biggest artists around at the moment, you know, the Justin Biebers, the Little Mixes, the Katy Perrys, etc. and etc. And the common thoughts that usually arise to my head are their past and their controversies. When I think about Justin Bieber, I don't think all too much about his music anymore, or even his most recently released single. I never even think about that. As soon as his name is raised to me, I think, you know, what now? What has he done now? You know, the guy's had his criminal touches, his romances, his entire childhood torn apart by the media on a daily basis for years and years at this point, and just basically all the time as well. And how many reviews and critiques have I actually seen of his music by these big media outlets? Well, maybe 1, maybe 2 at a push throughout his entire career. So yeah, these people aren't really concentrating on their music at all, are they? Then when it comes to Little Mix, I think of their time on X Factor, and I think of when all these TV crews came to my school to interview Leanne, because of course she went to my school. And I think of media headlines about how they were too seductive with their image on their last few music videos. And how often have I actually heard their music debated by any of these people? Well, obviously not ever. I've never heard them even talk about or raise about their latest track or anything like that. And I think you're kind of getting the theme here, but I don't want the concentration of this video to be about how the media turns audiences into frenzied critics of the lifestyles of the rich and famous, because we already know that by now. We're all guilty of doing that. But I want to talk about fan followings in particular, and how this reality-based spillage has left us sort of praising and idolizing those who haven't really ever enticed us with their music. What I mean by this is that there is a huge demographic out there who seem to follow the figures in the music industry, the big figures in this music industry, closer than the actual music itself. This still sounds fairly normal, of course, but I begin to find it a little bit strange when these people start lying about the music, or come unstuck when they are asked about the music. Surely to follow an artist, you have to be at least remotely interested in their art, right? A great example of this, and I don't mean this offensively at all, is everything that comes along with Beyonce. Now, I myself think Beyonce is incredibly talented and has written some of the biggest songs of my lifetime, and they've of course had an impact on cultures from around the world. But a video came out fairly recently of her singing to an acoustic guitar, and there were so many comments saying, wow, she can sing, and wow, she can actually sing, and I never knew that she was this good. And that to me seems very strange. If you're a complete casual listener who has only just stumbled across a couple live performance videos of her, or some of her bigger singles like myself, then you can already identify that she has a great voice. You know, that's not a surprise to anyone. But why is a huge part of her own fan base so surprised to hear how good she is with an acoustic guitar? Of course, you can obviously take this in the romantic sense, that people just think she sounds better and better every time they hear her, and that they're always so surprised to hear how good she is. But this is actually different to me. These are a different sort of people. These are people who are genuinely surprised that she's this talented, that they've actively follow her, yet they're always surprised that she can actually sing. Now, the majority of comments on Beyonce's videos are B emojis, of course. Someone stating "Slay Queen," you know, because that's always good fun, and commenting on her good looks. And I kind of feel that this is all directly related to the way reality television has made us see certain people. One in a good 25 people seem to actually comment something genuine and positive about her music in one of her videos. Another 15 seem to talk about how good she looks in one of these videos, and the others seem to talk about their personal lives and Beyonce's personal life as well. What I'm trying to do here, in perhaps the most convoluted way possible, because this is really difficult to describe, is that I'm trying to make a clarification that some people, of course, do follow an artist for their art. That's very common, but it's just as common to see people follow an artist for what they idolize in a TV personality or a TV type personality. They look towards appearance, the way they come across in interviews, their relationships, and whether that makes them seem like a good person, you know, their past, whether that makes them seem like a good person, whether they are funny in real life, when in all reality your first thought should be about the music, not the way they look or all the rest of it, yada yada yada. And of course we are all guilty of this. I am just as guilty as anyone else out there. But I think when this is taken a step further and its undertones are really concentrated on, I think the undertones here are really hurting the music industry today, and it's why we so often talk about diversity when it comes to who's in the charts and who is winning all these awards. Out of the hundreds and hundreds of people I've probably asked in my lifetime, barely anyone has told me that their favorite artist is insert, you know, top 10 selling artist from, you know, 2010s and onwards. And it's a bit of a weird one really, because if you take into account, you know, like views, likes, single sales and so on, there should be a ratio that is clearly obvious to see. And I know this sounds quite unscientific, and it is quite unscientific, and it's just really a thought pattern of mine. Of the people who have responded to me with a big artist, about half of them seem to sort of fanboy over looks, and a quarter about personality, and then maybe a quarter again, you know, towards their music. You're looking at a tiny percentage that seems to really follow one of these big artists that create good art and are known to create good art that they enjoy. And does that mean that sort of reality ideologies and the way the media reports an individual is more important than what the individual actually creates for you specifically? And I think for a lot of us, of course, it is a yes. In the next segment, I will talk more about the repercussions this has on the industry and us as people, but for now I just want to leave this with sort of food for thought really. Do you really follow an artist or a music artist for their art, or because it is popular to follow this artist, or because the artist is just someone who is easy to follow? Again, if you like this video, then please leave a like, comment what you think in the comment section down below. This is very much a topic I want to talk about with people. I want to hear their perspectives on. Subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.